What's going on, guys? This is boZ again with boZ Reptiles. What's going on, guys? This is boZ again with boZ Reptiles, and I'm coming at you today to discuss humidity. Humidity is very important for your ball python in order to have a healthy shed. Okay. Now, whether you use a tank or a tub for your snake's enclosure is going to affect how your humidity turns out. So when I got my very first ball python, I brought it home and I had a 10-gallon tank, and it has a mesh screen top. And what I learned is that the heat in your tank will obviously cause the water to evaporate of the mesh screen lid. So one of the most effective ways to raise your humidity, obviously you get a squirt bottle, not a whole lot, but you know, maybe once or twice per day. And if you pay attention to different substrates, the cypress wood substrate does a decent job at retaining moisture. So my first substrate combo I used was the cypress wood in the forest floor bedding. I'm not sponsored by them, this is just my experience. And I used Eco Earth to start out with. I used a blend of each, combined them together. And the cypress wood holds moisture pretty decent, because I would notice the next day I'd have water bubbles that would be on the glass tank wall. And that's caused from the heat map underneath and the lamp overhead heating up the substrate, drawing moisture out of it. But there's another substance called moss, which you can get. It comes in a dehydrated block, and what you do is you break off the amount you want to use, you soak it in water, and it'll expand. And what the moss does is it retains moisture a lot better than your traditional substrates. So you can take, if you have a rock hide, you take some moss and you put it on top of your rock hide, pre-soaked, right? So you want to obviously have it wet, and you put it in top of your rock hide, and that will give you some moisture. However, it's still going to evaporate very quickly out of the top. So you have to make sure that you're finding a way to keep moisture inside. One of the ways that I did this is I started out and I took paper towels, and I'd take like a wet paper towel and put it on half of the tank to try to keep moisture in. Then I was trying to use, you know, like hand towels. And I'd take a hand towel, and half of the tank would have a wet hand towel on the top. The other half would have my lamp, my heat lamp. There's another breeder who recommended like Glad press and seal, or you know, shrink wrap or cellophane. So what you would do is you'd put that around the edges, and what it'll do, obviously not on the whole tank because your snake still needs air, but you would put it on a portion of the tank, and what it'll do is help keep moisture inside of your tank, raising humidity levels. Now, if you are working in a tub system, which has drawers that pull out, you are going to find that humidity is much easier to maintain. Now, you might ask, why is that? Working in a tub system, the moisture has less places to go. It really doesn't have anywhere to go. So what you end up with is, on the inside of the tub face, you'll get dots of moisture, little water droplets. That water has a tendency to retain inside of the tub, which is a beautiful thing, especially if your snake is in shed. That's what you want. You want good moisture. Now, if you are running a tank setup, it's very important for you to get a hydrometer as well as a thermometer. The hydrometer is going to let you know what percentage your tank is at. Obviously, if you have moss on the side the hydrometer is on, it's going to be higher, because moss retains moisture very well. But what I would do is obviously go with the digital hydrometer. Now, don't make the same mistake I did. One mistake I made is I bought the adhesive. It was an adhesive based hydrometer, which would mount inside of your tank. Now what happened with that is the adhesive fell inside the tank, and then the snake slithered right over the adhesive, and the adhesive got stuck to the snake. So I don't recommend using adhesive products to go inside of your tank for thermometers or hydrometers. So what I went ahead and did instead is I got a it's a digital hydrometer, digital thermometer combo. I have it Velcro adhesive to the outside of the tank, and the probes run inside the tank with a suction cup. So the suction cup won't damage your snake. It doesn't pose any risk like the adhesive does. It just attaches to the inside of your tank for the thermometer and for the hydrometer. Now when you're monitoring the humidity, you want your moisture between 55 to 60 degrees is ideal. If the snake is in shed, it can be a little higher. But if you drop too far below those ranges, you will notice your snake will develop a condition called stuck shed. Now if you go into your PetSmart, you may run into snakes there that have stuck shed. And stuck shed is simply when portions of the shed remain attached to the snake and the snake is unable to shed. This is due to low humidity environments, common in local retailers such as Petco and PetSmart, where they predominantly are using aspen, which does not retain moisture. Aspen is a substrate, common substrate you can purchase if you are unfamiliar. So now one of the methods that I use, what I'll tell you is I have methods for beating stuck shed, which I'll go over in another video. But for now, let's go ahead and check on some of my snakes and see how they're doing. So we're gonna go ahead and take you guys into the reptile room. And today we're gonna check on two of my snakes, Cinnamon and Trick. Cinnamon is a pinstripe ball python, and Trick is the Trick morph ball python. Both of which have been in shed the past few days. And so today will be the perfect opportunity to take a look. Let's go ahead and take a look here. All right, here's my tub system. And here is Cinnamon. And what does she have here? Let's take a look. We have a perfect shed, top to bottom and complete. A perfect shed. So perfect husbandry leads to perfect sheds. All right, here's Cinnamon. I'll go ahead and take her out so you guys can get a look at her. So here's my adorable, beautiful Cinnamon. Don't be shy, girl, it's okay. She's a little camera shy right now. Little camera shy. But she is absolutely beautiful. And Cinnamon is my very first ball python. I got Cinnamon in Morrisville, North Carolina at a pet store. She's my very first ball python. Lots of love for Cinnamon. She's a pinstripe. She is absolutely adorable, very well behaved. She's very tame. She's very friendly, and she loves when I pick her up. She loves to be handled. As far as she is a female, obviously, and for breeding projects, I am planning on breeding her to one of my males, who is a banana pinstripe, het for clown. And you know, I think a little banana, make us some banana pins would make for some nice babies. But yeah, she's crawling up my arm now. You can see. So, as you can see, her shed came out very nicely. Go ahead and see. Yeah, and she got, she was my very first snake, so I took a whole lot of pride in raising her, and she's done very well for me, very well. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and put her back. She's doing well. Add her water bowl, and I'll pull out my next snake. Our next ball python up to bat is going to be Trick. Now, Trick is a snake that I will tell you about in just a second. So, Trick was in shed recently, so we're going to see how that shed is doing. So I have to tell you, Trick looks amazing. And what you can see behind her right here is a perfect shed. Perfect husbandry leads to perfect sheds. Okay. So, take him out. Show you guys. So, Trick did eat yesterday, so I'm actually going to put him back and leave him alone. He seems to be doing fine. Alright guys, so Trick is a snake that I got from BHB Reptiles out of New York, and I picked him up. He was my second snake. I picked him up from the Chantilly, Virginia reptile show, which was the very first reptile show I ever went to. Trick is a fantastic eater. So Trick just got finished having 2 meals, one Sunday, one Saturday. So I want to leave Trick with some time to digest. He's still digesting, so it's not a good time to really handle him a lot. But he's a beautiful snake, very good eater. Second snake I got. Alright, so this about wraps it up for Humidity. I hope you guys learned a lot today, and I hope you enjoyed. If you've not already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It'll get you your notifications so you know as soon as my next video is up. And I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.